Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the Pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hit, scores!
Now the sticks are up, and now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne
Hockey with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Comm. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Lucas for shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Isaac Barrera. Batting fourth, the DH, number 8, Daniel Swartz. Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 5, Eli McDonald. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 20, Carter Matheson. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 3, Jack Raymer.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Comm. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Lucas for shot scores.
rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
And now, ladies
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home. Or when you're on the go. The same night the Pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Ryan looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hits, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne hockey.
Plung with the dink.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
We welcome you into Huntington University, the site of the sectional final for boys baseball. The Huntington North sectional between the 17-7 Homestead Spartans, led by head coach Nick Bile, taking on the surprise Southside Archers, sitting at 13-13, led by Sheldon Van Pelt. I am Balin Height. Alongside of me today is Jim Kressel. Jim, the Southside Archers, as I mentioned, a little bit of a surprise to be here in the sectional championship, not favored. The 2 favorites were Homestead, who made it, and Huntington North, who the Archers defeated this weekend. Kind of a surprise in the area for the sectionals this weekend. Not too many people picked the Archers to be here.
You're correct. Not many would. Huntington North got ranked as high as number 1 in the state a couple weeks ago. Went through a tough stretch of losing a few. 1 week fell to number 4 and came into the sectional ranked there. But you can throw out the rankings when it comes to the tournament play. It's a one-and-done situation, and you can ride a hot pitcher or some cold bats into advancement or your summer season.
As we're getting ready to start things here, Alec Warges steps in for the Spartans, going to be leading things off. They are the away team on the scoreboard wearing the white, and the Archers are the home team on the scoreboard in the green. On the mound today for the Archers, it is what would seem as their ace. By the stats, he has double the innings of any other pitcher, and first pitch low for a ball. And if you're the Archers, you just want to keep things close. Not many people picked you to be here, so go all out.
Playing with house money at this time, and Barrera is the ace. 63 1/3 innings on the season and a 2.54 ERA and a 7-3 record. And when you're 7-3 for a 500 team, that is ace status.
Shot right to second base. And the throw over at first retires Warges, and the first out of the game and the inning for the Archers.
Nice play by Hapner there, get rid of the nerves a little bit. Cole's an outfielder by trade, but moved into shortstop because Lee Barrera is pitching today. So nice to get that first one out of the way.
Now it's Kolping up for the Spartans. And first pitch low, trickles away from the catcher. It's Josh Smith behind the plate today for the Archers. That one's right back to Barrera. He'll trot over and get it to first base. Retire Colping for the second out of the inning. So a pretty clean inning so far for Barrera. Has to give the Archers a lot of confidence so far, as they've handily retired the first two batters for the Spartans.
It's key to keep people off the base in front of Isaac Bear. Isaac's hitting .391 on the season and does have 7 home runs. So anytime you can face him with nobody on base, that's a plus.
And that's low and away, so another ball to start the account. Last time we saw the Spartans on Summit City Sports, Bear put one over the center field fence out at Carroll. So you mentioned that power.
A lot of that power came late in the season. As the weather started to warm up, so did Bear.
There's a strike in there from Barrera. We saw a lot of that throughout the area. A lot of hitters in particular started to heat up, as expected. Today, not to mention, well into the 90s. Real feel in the hundreds as Bear's check swing, he went 2-2 now is the count.
Barrera's come 2-0 and 2-1 with breaking balls. He does it again.
That one's outside, full count.
A lot of confidence in that curveball right now by Barrera.
And that one's another breaking ball, got him. And a clean inning for the Southside Archers, in particular Barrera. He cruises 1-2-3, and we'll head to the bottom of the first here on SummitCitySports.com.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Comm. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Welcome back here on Summit City Sports. Balin Height alongside Jim Kressel. And a clean inning for the Archers. Jim, you talked about it. The closer and closer this game keeps throughout the game, Archers going to gain more and more confidence, even though they may, to some, be the team that shouldn't be here.
Absolutely. The Homestead a prohibited favorite if you were talking from that kind of perspective. Obviously, it's a baseball program rich in tradition. Southside's had some good players at times, has had some success, but the casual fan, even the knowledgeable fan here in the Fort Wayne area would expect Homestead to win this game 9.5 times out of 10. But that's why they play it. It's single elimination here in the tournament in Indiana. And as we saw Saturday with Southside beating Huntington North, anything can happen. So that's why we're here.
And to try to make sure the Spartans do close it out on the mound is Justin Miller, 5'11", 170 senior, headed to the now PFW next season to play collegiate ball. Some of the best in the area is Justin Miller.
I've had the luxury of seeing both Justin and Lee Barrera the last 2 summers. They were summer teammates with AWP the last 2 years with a lot of success. So had the joy of being able to watch them pitch each weekend. So we're going to have a pitcher's duel here today.
Speaking of the pitchers, Lee Barrera is going to lead things off for the Archers. Takes the first pitch ball from Miller. And he delivers again, low, 2-0. No scoreboard here at Huntington University. It went out, I believe, during one of the games the other night. So relying solely on memory and what we see here. So Miller starts it out 3-0, and Barrera is way ahead on the count. And there's a 4-pitch walk from Miller, and Barrera finds himself on first base. So the Archers are already in business with nobody out.
Justin looks a little anxious right now, a little antsy, kind of rushing his delivery up to the plate.
Let's see the courtesy runner head out there for Barrera. It's Isaac Combs now on first base for the Archers. To bat is Thomas Romero, third base today. He pitched the other night for the Archers in the upset win over Huntington North. Had a great game going 6 2/3, only giving up the 2 runs, preserving the 4-2 victory for the Archers.
Romero hit .350 on the season, on-base percentage of .466, so he spent a lot of time on base this year.
Tried to lay down a bunt, couldn't get it down, called strike anyway.
Romero choked up on the bat, trying to put this ball in play, make Homestead make a play.
And that one's low. Courtesy runner Combs will sit at first base. As Bear was able to recover, get in front of the ball. 1-2 now. Coming to Romero. Bear thought about a check throw down to first base. Instead, he hangs on to it. Count runs 2-2. Romero still up on the bat, just trying to put it in play. He does. Slapped it to right field. That might get down. Nope. Right fielder Ferguson's going to get under it and retire the first Archer of the day. Josh Smith, the catcher, now steps in for the Archers. Miller with the check, then he comes. And Smith swings right through it for strike 1. Miller starting to look a little bit more comfortable up there after that first out. That one up high. 1-1. Still keeping a close eye on Combs over at first base.
Miller's able to keep his pitch count down today. He should be effective. Generally, when he becomes a little wild, it tends to build on itself. He builds up his pitches, and that's when he gets hit.
Up high and away, 2-1.
But when he's on, he can be as lethal as anyone in this corner of the state.
Smith looks down at third base coach Ryan Dellinger for the sign. And that one's in for a called strike, 2-2.
Ryan knows Justin well. As I mentioned earlier, that team of Lee that had Lee and Justin on the last 2 summers was coached by Ryan Dellinger with his son Simon on the team.
And that one's out. Runs the count full.
He's seen Miller as his pitcher. Now he's seeing Miller as his opposing pitcher.
That one's in. Ball 4, so 2 walks in the inning already have put runners in first and second for the Archers with just 1 out. Cleanup hitter Jonathan Yoder now up as we get another courtesy runner for the catcher Smith.
Yoder only hitting .239 on the season, has 16 hits. However, 5 of those have been for extra bases. So this kid with some power. Let's see if he can get into one here and maybe score a run or 2 for the Archers.
First pitch strike in on Yoder. Yoder playing first base today. And swings right through it. Now check down at first. And he'll say no. Bear had a good beat on him, but first baseman may have dropped the ball. It's Colping sitting down there.
Colping down there. That throw was in the dirt. Kay did a good job keeping it out of right field. So. run into the bag while trying to make the play. Well done by the young first baseman.
Could have been trouble for the Spartans. Instead, runner still on first and second. And now Miller steps off and chases him back. Rings about strike 3. So a big strikeout and a big out in the inning for Justin Miller. Now Cole Hapner steps in, trying to extend the inning for the Archers, with 2 runners out on the base pass. And another called strike in for Miller, so definitely starting to settle down, hitting his spots. As first contact we've seen in a while here for the Archers. Hapner fouls it away, 0-2 now. Miller delivers, 0-2, and Hapner just got through it. He'll get called out on strikes, and that's 3 outs in the inning. And we'll head to the top of the second. Still not at 0 here on SummitCitySports.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the Pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Ryan looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hits, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne
Hockey with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter.
We welcome you back here on SummitCitySports.com at Huntington University for the Huntington North Sectional Final, where we had a pretty quick first inning as Barrera back on the mound for the Archers had a 1-2-3 inning, and Miller settled down, was able to get a couple strikeouts to get himself out of the inning as Barrera goes out to the DH Schwartz. Sets again, and Schwartz swings right through it, 1-1. And some solid contact out into center field. Xavier Rogers just got under it for the Archers. Another quick out for Barrera.
Southside looks very comfortable out there today. You said not a lot of people expected him to be in this position, but I'm sure when the draw came out, they expected to be here.
Some more contact fouled back. Just going to run out of room is Josh Smith, the catcher. Starts to count 0-1. You're exactly right. Archer's looking very comfortable, especially Barrera out on the mound, showing that true ace status today. So far through 1. Another nice pitch. Swing and miss. Granted, the last 2 batters for the Spartans made some contact, and if it weren't for the net, that one might have been coming right back in the press box to us, 0-2. Now McDonald on the ground. Into the gap, shortstop able to come across and field it for the out. Great play by Cole Hapner over at short, and the hold for Jonathan Yoder at first. Gets the second out of the inning for the Archers.
Hapner ranging a little bit to his right. Third baseman Romero tried to cut it off, was unable to. But Hapner from deep in the hole showed off an outfielder's arm there and got him by about half a step.
You mentioned it earlier. He had to come in to play the infield with Barrera on the mound. And first pitch out.
Was a really good athlete. Watched him play over the past couple summers as well.
And that one's hit on the ground. Right into the hole. Rolls into right field, and the Spartans have their first hit of the day.
Carter Matheson there getting a start today as a freshman. And a base hit to right. Keep a ear out on that name over the next few years.
So 2 outs, runner on first for Barrera. First runner he's faced all day. Chop third base, tough play. Has to come up and make the throw, and it's sent over first base. Just out of reach as Mathiasen thought about running all the way from first to home, but he's held up there at third. So now after the error, Spartans in business. Runners at first, or second and third, excuse me. And just after you thought the Archers had a little bit of composure, a couple quick tough plays and a single.
When Romero was unable to field that cleanly and kind of bobbled to picking it up, he took a look. He might have been better off to just keep that one in his pocket, keep runners at first and second.
First pitch in for a strike.
Justin Miller here to see if he can help his own cause, driving in a couple 2-out runs.
Gets contact, sent straight up into left field. That's Stutz underneath it and able to retire Miller. So after an error and a hit, Archer's able to escape some trouble as we head to the bottom of the second inning here from Huntington University.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Comm. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipscher. Shot scores!
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Settles down.
We welcome you back here on SummitCitySports.com. I'd like to remind you today's broadcast is being brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Season for us steadily coming to an end here. All that's left is baseball. And with the Carroll Chargers winning earlier today at noon in the Carroll sectional, that secured us at least one more weekend calling games out here, as that'll be down in Lafayette. The winner of this one will face the Chargers. As for the rest of that bracket, Jim?
We're not sure if we got half of it filled. Zionsville will be there playing at 11 a.m., and they will play the winner of tonight's game between Noblesville and Fisher. That game will be at 11, and the Carroll versus the winner of this game will be approximately 30 minutes after the finish of that. They're anticipating probably right around somewhere between 1:30.
So we'll presumably have that game live here on SummitCitySports.com, and if we are guaranteed at least one of those teams making it from the Fort Wayne area, have that championship live as well. So Miller first pitch out, and that one's fouled out. Now 1-1. Dion Goodwell, or excuse me, Jacob Sanchez. Goodwell's on deck. And 1-1's out, 2-1. Miller was in some trouble last inning, but able to work his way around it. As that one's fouled back, 2-2.
Justin had 21 pitches in that first inning. That's a few more than you'd like to see. You'd like to keep that number at 15 or less. So he'd like to get through this bottom part of the order here, 6, 7, 8, pretty quickly.
And 2-2's out.
And it promptly goes full on the first hitter.
Miller struggled, had a 4-pitch walk to start the inning, and later on had another walk scattered in there. So 2 walks in that first inning elevated that pitch count a little bit. And now at the risk of losing Sanchez. And Sanchez slaps that right out to the center fielder. And is retired by Rogers for the first out. So now Dion Goodwell up to bat for the Archers. Had 2 hits in the big upset just the other night against Huntington North. Scored a couple runs as well. That's it for a strike.
Some serious damage in that game for Southside. They got a lot of hits, scored a lot of runs.
That one's fouled back towards us, hits the screen and drops. 0-2. Head coach Van Pelt certainly hoping for more of the same today. That bottom of the order, maybe sparking things when things turn over to the top of the lineup. And 0-2's out, ball 1.
Your Southside here, you'd like to see at least Goodwell or the next batter, Rogers, get on base to be able to turn the order over. So Barrera would be leading off the third if nothing good happened here in the bottom of the second.
Taking a look around the ballpark, have some odd corners. Straight out to center 400 as here comes the pitch. Just low, 2-2. Out to left field is 320. And in right, 305. So short porch, what we talked about. A little bit of an elevated fence. As Goodwell hits it that way towards the first baseman. Colping. And he ranges over to retire Goodwell. 2 outs in the inning now. Xavier Rogers also had 2 hits against Huntington North. And he's up trying to extend the inning for the Archers. And that's out, ball 1 to Rogers. Fouls that one off. Archers haven't had that great of contact tonight against Miller. Just the 2 walks led to some base runners and a little bit of trouble. Other than that, just a couple chops in the infield.
Sanchez had a hard hit ball, but other than that, yeah, just a couple what the pitcher likes to call weak contact that have led to easy outs.
And that keeps the pitch count down for Miller. As that one's up 3-1.
So like I said earlier, big pitch here for Justin. He'd like to get Rogers and lead off the 3rd inning with the 9-hitter Perez. Southside likes to see that.
As a 5-pitch walk for Xavier Rogers will bring Perez up, and that guarantees the turnover unless Rogers is picked off on the base pass. The lineup will at least turn over next inning for the Archers with Barrera leading off.
The 9-hole hitter here hitting, and a left-handed pitcher on the mound. I'm shocked to see Rogers going, but Coach Dillinger might be thinking the same thing that Homestead's thinking that. Go ahead and turn him loose. I think Justin was too appreciative of that ball call. He didn't look real happy. And you're struggling with control. You want every call you can get, but at the same time, the umpire might not give you as much of the zone as if you have good control.
It's 2-0 into Perez. You see a pickoff attempt down at first base. So now you go 2-0 on the 9-hole hitter. Start to lead to some trouble if you're Justin Miller. And there's a called strike. Settle things out, 2-1. Pickoff attempt first base. And Rogers is in safely. That one's low, runs at 3-1. Big pitch here for Miller. after he started the inning 1-2, tiring the first two batters. Walk to Rogers. Now the pitch to Perez. In for a strike. Fills the count full. 3-2.
Surprised with a 9-hole hitter here that Homestead's choosing to hold the runner on. He's going to be off on the pitch. You might want to cover a little more ground over there on the right side, but they're choosing to hold him.
And it's out. Another full count walk. And that sends Perez to first and moves Rogers to second. Now the pitcher, Libre, in. Tough spot for the Spartans.
4 walks in the first trip through the lineup for Miller. Not obviously what he nor the Spartans were looking for. Isaac Bear out to the mound. Maybe he sees something in Miller's delivery that he's trying to correct.
Talked about earlier, it seemed as though Miller was coming just a little too quick, not going through his full motion maybe. Trying to settle him down a little bit, get him back into his rhythm. So it's Rogers on second, Perez on first, as Barrera is up to the plate. First pitch strike from Miller.
It's been a long time since I participated in a sectional baseball tournament, but I'm sure he's a little jacked up out there. So,
not to mention championship, as Miller goes ball 1, 1-1. Called strike 1 and 2 to Barrera. Now the Archers just trying to get something out of this inning. Runners on first and second. Runners going, swing and a miss, and Barrera is tagged out. So the score stays at 0 as we'll head to the top of the third inning, moving rather quickly here at Huntington University. We'll be right back for the third inning action.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the Pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hit, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne High.
Plung with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome back here on SummitCitySports.com for third inning action, as we're still tied here at 0. Neither team has been able to get some really good contact and string it together, as both pitchers have shut the lineups down so far. Miller's ran into some trouble with some walks in control, but still able to limit the damage and not allow a run. And Barrera has looked really good on the mound.
Leading off for the Spartans in the top of the third inning, the second baseman, number 2, Brandon Hedges.
Big out here for Lee. Number 9 hitter here, Hedges, is only hitting 226 on the year. So this is the one that you definitely want to keep off the bases ahead of the top of the order.
And he starts him off with a first pitch strike. Be really nice for Barrera. Started off with an out before the lineup turns over, as that one's in 1-1.
Welcome back forward to 2012 here at Huntington University. Homestead and Southside knotted up at 0 and 5 is out of play.
As that's fouled off of Hedges. Makes it 1-2. Pretty good crowd here out at Huntington University. Looking down the left field line, see a lot of Homestead blue.
Beautiful facility here. It's awfully nice of the Foresters to partner with the IHSAA and the high school guys play on a college field.
And Barrera rings up Hyges with a strikeout. And that's that first out that we talked about would be a big boost as the lineup turns over. And Wargis steps in. Manning center field today. In for a called strike.
Burgess will be continuing his baseball career at Butler University in the next year.
And another called strike, 0-2. Barrera ahead early as he's worked majority of the day so far. As there's a waste 0-2 pitch up and out, 1-2 now. Colpine will be up as that was close. Keeps it 2-2, and the Archer faithful, you can hear them right down below us.
Those in green were all over the up. Those in blue said good call.
And that slap to shortstop. Another tough play for the shortstop, Cole Hapner. And it rolls into the outfield, and Burgess is on. It's a really hard hit ball straight on the ground. Rolled right up on Hapner at short. Made for a difficult play. Hapner has the arm at short, but maybe not quite the infielding range as he's normally positioned somewhere in the outfield. And we've got the check on Wargis.
Wargis is perfect in stolen bases this year, 13 for 13, so I might expect to see him get the green light here shortly, sometime during Copian's at bat.
As the pitch is out, 1-0 to Colpine. Pitches in, makes it 2-0. As the check over on Wargis, you mentioned perfect in stolen base attempts. Definitely something to look out for. Making Barrera think about him a little bit. Just has to go over and attack Colpine now. And he drops it just out of play. Makes it 2-1. You can see over there the low fence. Got to be careful for spectators watching. As that one ricocheted right in that group.
2 balls, 1 strike, a great hit and run count. Let's see if Coach Homestead puts it on here. Barrera thinks it might be on.
He's got the minutes jersey so far with the stop after the third inning. I don't think Barrera's going to be able to pick off Burgess. I think he should really focus on the battery order. At this point, I think Burgess is going to be
another check on the runner. Back in time. And there he goes. Low throw, skips off the mound. And the Archers are fortunate just to keep it in front of him as Wargis is in easily and continues his streak of perfection for stolen bases.
Best of both worlds there for the Spartans. They didn't have to put the hit and run on him. The count's now 3-1, and the runner takes a straight steal of second base.
So now Wargis in scoring position for Colpine. Swings straight into center field, and that's going to get down. Might not be enough to score the runner. Wargis, he's going to hold up at third as Barrera has to cut it off. And now the Spartans are in business with runners at first and second, or second, third. Just the 1 out in the inning. And Isaac Bear.
The throw there from Rogers eluded his cutoff man, and Colpine smartly just scampered down to second to take the double play out of the opportunity here for the Archers. So now we got second and third.
And the power guy for the Spartans. Isaac Bear, the catcher, up to bat. Big spot here. And it's chopped to third base. Gonna make the throw home and the tag. And they'll say he's safe. The catcher Smith just missed it. Great job by Rogers there to move it around and kind of tango his way to get home plate. Josh Smith just couldn't quite get the tag on. It was a nice throw from third. Probably would have gotten him with the tag. As Van Pelt's going to come over and chat with the home plate umpire.
I think as Burgess slid to the outside part of the field, catcher reached for him. He reached out for home plate, didn't touch home plate. Catcher didn't touch him. Umpire made no signal until Burgess reached back, touched the plate, and at that time he was called safe.
So now runners at the corners, and it's just the one out as Bear will advance, and it'll be Schwartz, the DH, up to bat.
Schwartz flew out to the center field his last at bat. I'm sure Coach Bile would take another one of those right now.
And runner goes at second. They're going to do a throw down, get the runner at second base, but the runner from third will come home and score. So the Archers trading out for a run and clean out the bases. But Colpin will come home and score. So nice play from Smith in the Archer infield to get the out, but you just allow the run. And shot right to Hapner, able to come up with it and retire Schwartz. As the Spartans score 2 here in the top of the third inning. We'll head to the bottom of the third here on SummitCitySports.com.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Comm. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Welcome you back here on SummitCitySports.com. As we'd like to remind you that Parkview Sports Medicine is a partner of Summit City Sports. And at Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. Our lead team of experts in orthopedic, surgery, and athletic rehabilitation, nutrition, and sports performance training offers athletes coordinated care and instant access at the new Parkview Ortho Express clinic inside the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Also, Parkview Sports Medicine is the new go-to for local sports with scores and highlights for all area schools. PSM wants to celebrate the accomplishments of the athlete on and off the field. Check it out at ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. To make Parkview Sports Medicine part of your team, give us a call at 266-4007 or log on to ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. So now the pitcher Justin Miller, a little bit of insurance with the 2 runs on the board, can really go now and attack the Archer lineup. It's Thomas Romero who will lead things off in the bottom of the third and try to work the Archer attack back, try to even things up, get some of those runs back. And the first pitch, check swing for a strike. You mentioned that error last inning just killed the Spartans, or Archers, excuse me.
Yeah, that could have been 2 outs, nobody on, and then they turned that. Errant throw from the outfielder that allowed the base hit to get to second base. A little offline throw from third base home on the fielder's choice, and next thing you know, there's a couple mistakes lead to 2 runs.
Now pitcher Justin Miller ahead on Romero. And he fouls it back, keeps it at 1-2.
Kudos to Homestead, though, for taking advantage of that. Too many times the defensive team gives you an opportunity and you don't take advantage of it. So well done by the Spartans to make sure that they were given a little bit of an opening in that door and they kind of came barging through it.
As 2-2 out, 3-2 now, full count. So after starting off Romero 0-2, counts now run full. Miller's experienced a couple of these type of at-bats today already. Try to eliminate those, keep the pitch count down. And that one's up for ball 4, so leadoff runner is on, and Thomas Romero for the Archers. As an 0-2 count leads to a walk. Definitely not what you want to see. Some control issues here for Miller.
5th walk already with only 11 plate appearances.
Hasn't hurt him yet. Able to work around it. But now the catcher, Josh Smith, up for the Archers. And first pitch strike.
I always told my kids leadoff walks are like drugs. They'll kill you.
That or the coach. As that one's in for a strike. 0-2. Set up an inning so many different ways. Can a leadoff walk? As that one's out. 1-2. Miller following suit throughout his at-bats so far. As Josh Smith, swings right through that one. And there's no play at first as there's already a runner on. Gives Miller his first out and keeps Romero right at first. Now the cleanup hitter, Jonathan Yoder, is up.
Well done by Romero there. Sometimes younger ball players might get confused and take off running, but since first base was occupied, the batter was out. He was able to go right back to first base. Smart move by Barrera throwing down there in case he did get confused. Well played on all ends.
Miller to check over at first on Romero. Yeah, we saw a situation like that Friday night between Northrop and DeKalb as the Bruins got hung up on that type of play. And the lead runner in that situation was tagged out as that one's in for a ball, 1-1. That one's in for a strike. Makes it 1-2. St. Miller's been in control, minus the walks, 5 already, but still looks like he has the advantage in most at-bats.
5 walks, 4 Ks. Not a whole lot of action in the field.
That's up and out, 2-2 now.
Situations like that, though, you got to be careful because that's when fielders start getting back on their heels. I mean, not a lot of balls in play. They might start getting a little bit lazy. And next thing you know, a ball gets hit to you and you're not quite ready for it because you're on your heels and trouble.
Yeah, and that one's out. Now a full count. Miller's pitch count inflating. As that one's in. Almost gets in and hits Yoder. So he'll step down and trot to first. Runners at first and second. The 6th walk for Miller.
Had 13 guys come to the plate. And the ball's been put in play 3 times.
Infield hasn't had a lot of work, or the outfield for that matter. Be difficult. Nice bunt drop down there by Jacob Sanchez. Puts the runners at second and third as he executes the sacrifice. So now 2 outs in the inning, but 2 runners in scoring position. As that was Hapner, who put down the bunt. And now Sanchez is up.
Hapner gets that ball a little bit more down the third baseline. With his speed, he's got a hit. That just got a little bit too close to the pitcher's mound. Needed to bunt that about 3 feet further down the line, and I think he beats it out.
So now Sanchez with the RBI opportunity. First pitch makes contact with, sends it out. Make it 0-1. For Miller, you would definitely want to pay attention to the runners, but you could probably just go at them here as the Spartans aren't holding. And 2 outs. And that one's low.
Nicely dug out by Bear. There's the catcher. He lets that ball get past him. It's a run.
Not a whole lot of room behind home plate here at Huntington, but probably would have been just enough. Depending on how hard the ball would get through Bear. And swing and a miss for Sanchez. Runs count 1-2. Now Miller, after issuing a couple of walks, has another chance to work his way out of a clean inning.
comes the 1-2.
And that's in on the ground. Shot to the second baseman. And just gets through him. One run will score. Both runners were running. Play coming home. And 2 runs will score. So from the error at second by Hedges, both runners will score. And Jacob Sanchez will find himself on first base.
Kids, if you're listening out there, I told you earlier, leadoff walks are like drugs. They will kill you. And 2 walks in that inning, and then an error, 2 runs have scored.
So the walks finally come back to haunt Justin Miller. And now first pitch ball. Sanchez on first base for Southside. Xavier Rogers, who had 2 hits the other night, makes contact and sends it out. Makes it 1-1. We also talked about fielders possibly getting a little comfortable out there. And that might have been some of the case on that one.
These guys have been out there for 3 innings, and that was only the 5th ball put in play, so it does have an impact on the fielders as well.
And that one's low. Gets Southside right back into this one and evens things up. With 2 outs in the inning, that was crucial as both runners were going on contact. And there's a swing right through it. Puts it at 2-2. Now Miller trying to work his way through it. Keep this game tied.
Coach Dellinger down there at third did not hesitate with Yoder. He said as he was coming to third, he was waving him home the whole way.
As the Archers were going for the hit and run.
Not a bad opportunity there to do that with 2 outs, 2 strikes. If Goodwell were able to find a gap, there's an opportunity Sanchez would be able to score all the way from first base.
Goodwell step back in here, count 2-2. And looks at the runner in first, delivers. And Goodwell swings right through it. Not a chance to run down to first. And that will do it for the 3rd inning. But now before the Archers even things up here. So we'll come back to the top of the 4th where the Spartans will be up to bat at Huntington University for this Huntington North sectional final.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home. Or when you're on the go. The same night the Pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hits, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne hockey.
Plung with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Summit City.
Welcome back here to Huntington University as we are knotted up at 2s apiece, where errors have been the key to scoring runs for both teams, as a couple errors here and there for the Archers allowed the Spartans to come home with 2, and then the error at second base tied this thing up as Perez looked good on the mound and he delivers the first pitch strike.
That error might have breathed some life back into the Archers here as Barrera comes out and gets quickly ahead 0-2.
It's McDonald in to hit for the Spartans. And 0-2's low, 1-2.
McDonald 0 for 1 tonight with a ground out to the shortstop in the second.
He's not issued a walk so far in this game, compared to 6 for Justin Miller. 1-2.
And that one up. McDonald thought about it and looked it off. Instead, count runs 2-2.
the night and day difference from pitching styles of these two pitchers so far. And pitching kind of for Barrera comes up to
as McDonald swings right through that breaking ball. Gives Barrera the K and the first out of the inning.
Good pitch there by Lee. 2-2 curveball. A lot of bite on it. I think McDonald had given up on it, and that ball just broke right into the zone. He took a weak cut at it as it was almost in the catcher's mitt.
Dyson in there. Starts him off 1-0. That one hit on the ground. Second baseman's got it. That's Goodwell. Gets it over to first and retires Mathiasen. So 2 up, 2 down so far for Barrera. As you get a look at Goodwell over at second base. And Barrera, first pitch hit in the air, and Goodwell has to range back over his head a little bit and make the nice play. That ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Barrera, and the Archers are right back into the dugout for the bottom of the 4th inning when we return from Huntington University.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Comm. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Welcome you back here on SummitCitySports.com. Balin Height here with you alongside Jim Kressel. Talking pitch counts between these two pitchers. Miller has 6 walks, a couple Ks, and it's 74 pitches through 3. Barrera, on the other hand, a couple clean innings have him in the low 40s. Through 4. So that's a pretty good average and ratio through the innings.
The further this game goes tied, the more confident the Archers are going to become, and the tighter the Spartans will become.
Miller, you'd really like to see a clean inning here with some nice control, as he's had problems with that throughout this one. Not a lot of balls hit to the field or contact at all, for that matter. And Xavier Rogers will lead things off for the Archers in the 8th spot, 8, 9, and 1. It's Rogers, Perez, and Barrera. And first pitch out, ball 1.
Rogers drew a 5-pitch walk his first time up and was stranded on second base back in the 2nd inning.
Miller gets a called strike, 1-1. Pitch in is out, 2-1 to Rogers. And that one's out, makes it 3-1. So another hitter's count for Rogers here. And that one's low, and he trot to first. Check that trot. A little bit more of a hurried pace for Rogers, as he could have turned and headed for 2, depending on where that ball was behind Bear. But Bear was able to get on it. But a leadoff walk. Once again, we talked about walks hurting the Spartans last time through. Walk number 7, I believe, for Miller.
That is correct. Perez last time drew a walk as well.
Walking the 8-9 hitters is not what you want on the mound, as first pitch ball, 1-0.
We have some action down in the Spartan bullpen. I haven't picked up a number yet as to who it is. But
You mentioned the Spartans pretty deep in pitching, as you get a check down at first, and Rogers backing in safe. Bears looked that way a couple times.
Looks like that's Zach Bradmiller, the junior for Homestead warming up in the pen.
6'1", 160 Brett Miller. As Perez squared to bunt. It was low. They'll say he didn't go on the check. And leaves it at 2-1. Rogers still over at first. No outs. Miller would like to see something on the ground here, maybe a double play ball. And there's the bunt. Third baseman fields it. Get it to first. And retire Perez.
Well done there by Perez, the 9-hole hitter, getting the runner over to second to set it up for Barrera and Romero to try to get the Archers the lead.
Third baseman Romero came over and charged it. Got it down to Colpine at first, but not before Rogers able to advance to second. Now runner in scoring position for Barrera. Chance to help his own cause. In a pretty big spot. And first pitch strike into Barrera. Seems like Miller's been able to bear down a little bit towards the top of the order for the Archers.
Lee walked in the first and struck out to end the second.
That's on the ground, but foul. Now ahead of Barrera, 0-2.
A lot of times in this situation, the pitcher will nibble a little bit by not throwing necessarily a strike here and hoping the batter can get himself out. But with the control issues that Miller's had today, I don't think he's thinking that way. I think he's looking to throw a strike and be able to blow it past Barrera for the strikeout.
Big out number 2 in this inning for Miller. And Barrera swings right through it for the second out and a K for Miller. But that broke a little bit just away from Barrera, who swung right through it. Now you've got Thomas Romero, the third baseman.
It's a good back foot breaking ball by Miller there. Threw that thing, it came right towards Barrea's back foot. Good job by Bear. Keep it in front.
That's hit on the ground, just through into the right field. They'll send Rogers, and he's in there as the Archers have the lead. On the Thomas Romero RBI single. It just got out of the reach of the second baseman, Hedges.
It was the first hit of the game for Southside, yet they lead 3-2. 3 runners have all scored. How did they get on base? Via the base on balls. 2 of them lead off base on balls.
So Southside still not done in this inning as the 3-hole Josh Smith swings at the first pitch you see, strike 1. And now a slim but albeit lead for the Archers. Dugout very animated for the Archers as Smith goes through, makes it an 0-2.
Josh Smith, the senior, down 0-2 in this count, and the runner up first just came up 3-2. Also looking to get this game to the top of fifth. 0-2.
Smith cracks it through between third base and short. That'll move the runners up. Now first and second for the Archers. And the cleanup hitter, Jonathan Yoder.
And again, was one of those situations, 0-2. A lot of times pitchers will nibble, hoping the hitter will get themselves out. But with Miller's control issues today, I don't think he's got the confidence to be throwing the ball off the plate trying to get it out. He just got too much of the zone there, and Smith poked it into left field.
So now after having no hits through 3, the Archers have 2. And another solid contact. That'll get down. We'll see if they'll hold at third to keep the bases loaded. Probably a wise decision for the Archers as Ferguson out in right field made a good throw, got it into Bear quickly, keep the runners where they're at. So now Cole Hapner up in the 5 spot, and bases loaded opportunity for the Archers.
Very dangerous hitter here for if you're a Spartan fan. Hapner is 0 for 1 today. He does have a strikeout, and he had what we've got down as a sack bunt, but I think he's bunting for a hit. And that'll be it for Miller.
So Miller will take a seat as head coach Biles going to the bullpen. It'll be the junior, Zach Brettmiller, 6'1", 160 coming in. We mentioned a lot of depth for the Spartans on the mound, and they're going to go to it in the fourth here. So 3 2/3.
So final line for Justin Miller goes like this: 3 2/3
for Miller.
Has 6 strikeouts, 7 walks, allowed.
And it was those walks that just came back to haunt him. We talked about it throughout the broadcast so far. See what kind of movement we get out in the field.
Now we will see the number 2 pitcher for Homestead taking him now.
As Brettmiller warms up and we figure things out positionally, we'll take a break here on SummitCitySports.com.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Comm. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipster. Shot scores!
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Welcome back here in a big spot for the Archers in this sectional championship on Memorial Day Monday. As it's Cole Hapner in. First pitch strike for Brettmiller, now in for the Spartans. Coming out of the bullpen with the bases loaded, not the situation you want to deal with. And the first battery faces, he hits. And that'll chase the runners one more base. And it sends a run home for the Archers. They extend their lead and double it 4-2. As Thomas Romero confidently strides home. And that Southside dugout continues to get more amped up as the lead grows. First pitch, Jacob Sanchez sees is high, ball 1.
The only thing you got to worry about if you're the Archers is Barrera has been off the field, off the mound for quite some time. It'll be interesting to see how he comes back if he's still got the control he's had for 4 innings.
And that one's out, ball 2. He has looked good, as you mentioned, through 4 innings. But sometimes that long sit for pitchers can take them off of their game just a little bit. We'll see how he responds, but the Archers still trying to do a little bit more here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And that one's up and out, 3-0. So now another opportunity for walks to come back and hit the Spartans.
Brettmiller came in firing his first 2 pitches, and then that second one when he hit the batter, he's kind of steered in there now. He's almost throwing batting practice fastballs. He's willing the ball for a strike right now.
As he gets one over there for a little get me over strike, 3-1.
Sanchez 0 for 2 today. Lined out the center fielder and reached on that error that scored 2 runs last inning.
He's made some contact and he sends that one back. Sends the count full. Brettmiller with a chance here to come back and get the out.
He's hit the ball hard twice, both times somewhat up the middle. Runners will be in motion here. Base hit and scored 2, a double easily scored 3.
Huge spot for the Spartans and Brettmiller. Runners go, and that's high, ball 4. Sends another run home and keeps the bases loaded.
Goodwell, the 9th man to come to the plate in this 4th inning. He's 0 for 2, grounded out to first and struck out last inning.
So now a 5-2 lead for the Archers.
High again.
Goodwell pitches high, 1-0, as the Archers have a 3-run lead. And you can start to feel a little bit of that upset excitement around the park.
Gutsy pitch there by Brettmiller, 1-0 curveball, found the zone.
He goes right back again with it. Makes it count 1-2.
Comfortable with Balin.
He's going to need to use a lot of that to get out of this one. Comes right back with it, and Goodwell swings right through it. So the Spartans get out of the inning, but not before the Archers grab 3. As in this fourth inning. The Archers have the lead. Let's see if they can hold it as the Spartans will be taking the at-bats in the top of the fifth here on SummitCitySports.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go, the same night the Pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hit, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne hockey.
Plung with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
We welcome you back here to Huntington University for the top of the fifth inning, where the Homestead Spartans are leading it off. And it's the former pitcher who started this one, Justin Miller, in to lead things off. 8-9-1 for the Spartans. We talked about this big spot for the Spartans, and we'll see how Barrera responds after a long sit on the bench, and he responds with the first pitch of the inning. In for a strike, 0-1.
Miller's just got to forget about what's happened tonight and go out there and do his job right here.
As that one's in for a called strike, 0-2. Miller didn't like that one. Looked at the home plate umpire and kind of shook his head a little bit. But faced with an 0-2 count now, as that one falls out, 1-2.
I can tell you this, Barrera's out there with a world of confidence right now. He's standing up there tall and proud. He's bringing it.
As Miller hits it to second, Goodwill off to the first baseman, Yoder, and the first out of the top of the fifth inning here for the Archers. Number 9 spot now, Brandon Hedges, the 9-hitter, and then it'll spin over on the top of the lineup for the Spartans. As first pitch he sees, sends it back to Goodwill at second, off to Yoder at first, and another second base. The first out for the Archers. 2 quick outs here for Barrera. You really mentioned it. It's his moment, and he's shining. 2 quick outs here in the inning, top of the order, as it's Wedges.
He's gone to the shortstop twice hard. First time Hapner was able to make the play, 6-3, and the second time it was an error, and Burgess came around to score.
And first pitch strike.
Barrera either knew that and kept that ball on the outer half of the plate. Because you're not going to pull one on me this time. Let's see if he stays out there.
And that one's up. Keeps it 1-1, and Burgess is just trying to get a spark going for the Spartans. At the plate, just haven't been able to get those base runners needed, as that one shot in left field, but just enough carry to get out to the left fielder Stutz, and a 1-2-3 inning quickly for Barrera, and the Archers are back in the dugout. As we'll take a quick break here on Summit City Sports, and the Archers will be up to bat when we return.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And look at his shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipster, shot scores!
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Yeah, Brad Miller's not in the game.
We welcome back here on SummitCitySports.com, where we find ourselves in the top of the fifth inning with the Southside Archers leading the Homestead Spartans 5-2. Justin Miller started this one for the Spartans, already out of the game, as it's Zach Bratmiller on the mound. Miller ran into some trouble early with walks, elevated that pitch count, and ultimately cooked a couple knocks for the Archers to chase some runs home. So Xavier Rogers, we're starting off right back where we were the last inning, and the first pitch hits Rogers, and another leadoff runner for the Archers.
Rogers is the 8 hitter. Walk and score, hit by pitch. You cannot afford to be put in the bottom of the lineup on base 3 times in 3 at-bats.
So already 2 hit by pitches for Brett Miller. The normal steady Spartans pitching depth just hasn't been on its game today, as that one's in for a strike on Perez. Perez the 9 spot. Barrera and Romero will follow.
Perez 0 for 1 today. He walked back in the second and laid down a sac bunt, moving Rogers over in that 4th inning where they led to 3 Archer runs. So led off Rogers, led off with the walk. Perez moved him over, and then Barrera struck out. They had 2 outs, man on second, and produced 3 straight hits for 3 runs. Looks to bunt again.
Perez looking to square to bunt again, but in for a called strike. Has to pull back. 0-2 now. Just trying to get that runner in. Rogers advanced to second as he's swinging away. Fouls it back. Oh, and 2 into Perez. And hearing some laughs up in the press box as we are starting to see some numbers pop up on that scoreboard. Maybe it is, in fact, working as the 0-2 pitch is in. Ball 1, 1-2 to Perez.
It's almost like the scoreboard's replaying the game like you're replaying a video game of some sort. It's popping up in 1 half inning after the other.
As Brett Miller looking to work here. 1 on, nobody out. Runner goes easily safe into second. And Brett Miller throws to first to retire Perez. So Perez is the 9 spot. Been pretty efficient for the Archers. Moves Rogers once again over to second. And runner in scoring position for the leadoff man, Barrera.
Hey, good news, Balin. The scoreboard matches my scorecard. So I'm feeling good about myself. Barrera's 0 for 2, a walk and 2 strikeouts, but that isn't the key thing for him. The key thing for him is he's held Homestead to 2 runs in 5 innings on only 57 pitches.
And shoots that one foul. Start the count 0-1 as we're starting to see some balls and strikes pop up on the scoreboard as if it is indeed, in fact, working. So that's a good sign. As Barrera gets some weak contact and sends it back towards the Southside dugout. Brings the count to 0-2. In these situations, the pitcher's normally in control, but we've seen a lot of 0-2 counts really be troublesome for the Spartans on the mound. As Brett Miller brings it to the plate, high and out, 1-2. Runner on second base is Rogers, Xavier Rogers. Hit by a pitch to lead off the inning. And Barrera able to slap it just over the second baseman. And they'll hold the runner at third as it missed the cutoff of Brett Miller and chased the plate. But now runners at first and third on the Barrera single. So he finally breaks through and gets some nice contact there, trying to help his own cause.
Romero 1 for 2 today, flew out to right in the first inning, walked in the third, and singled to right for an RBI back in the 4th inning. So 2 times he's put the ball in play, both have gone to the right side. Homestead's choosing to bring the infield in here with 1 out and runners on the corners.
We'll see how both teams attack the situation. As already a 3-run lead for the Archers. You'd like to extend it if you're wearing the green and if you're wearing the blue and white. This is probably about as big as a lead as or as big as a deficit as you're comfortable with. You don't want to push it to more than 3.
Middle infielders are playing about halfway right now. They're protecting against the stolen base. Plus, if there's a ball hit directly at them, they're going to try to turn 2.
Be a big
Corners
spot.
are probably going to come home.
Be a big spot here for Brad Miller. on a possible double play ball. Check at first base. Back in safely is Barrera.
Southside might try to put a little action on in the base paths here, see if they can get something going.
And Romero swings through it. Brings count 1-1. That's Rogers on third. See what third base coach Ryan Dellinger sets in play here.
Kind of interesting, Southside hasn't chosen to go with the courtesy runner for Barrera at first. Get him in the dugout, get him sat down.
Another hit by batter, or hit by pitch on the batter as Romero heads down to first, and once again another loaded bases situation for the Spartans. Third hit by pitch.
Southside's going to do just
for
what I said.
Miller.
They're going to get Barrera out of the game right now. Get him on the bench. He's more important sitting down, getting some rest in this heat, getting some fluids in him. He's 6 outs away from pitching the Archers to a sectional championship. Being at second base, they could throw me out there at second base, possibly score on, well, a ground rule double.
As that's the catcher Josh Smith in there. Swings the first, but you see that one was awfully close to getting in and clipping Smith. Maybe a bit of a defense swing there.
Brett Miller's faced 7 hitters and hit 3 of them today.
As we get time called. Good pitch from Brett Miller, but time was called by Smith. That one's up and in and almost hit Smith once again. Brett Miller having some control issues. Has been a theme for the Spartans on the mound. Miller had his fair share of trouble with walks. And now Brett Miller can't keep it away from the batter. That one, another awfully close. But a swing by Smith puts it to 1-2.
Smith hitting .311 on the season, so this is a batter that the Archers like to have up in this spot.
And that one's out. Makes it 2-2. Bear able to stop it. That could have been a run very easily if it gets to the backstop.
Bear, we're fortunate to have some very good catching up in Northeast Indiana with Bear here at Homestead, Hayden Jones at Carroll, Reese Coons at Snyder. Those are some of the better catchers you're going to see in the state, let alone all coming from one city.
We had the opportunity to see Jones today as the Chargers defeated the Bruins in the Sectional 5 4A. And they await the winner of this one. So now we got to stop and play. Things get reset here. Bases loaded, 2-2 count.
Smith 1 for 2 today. Walk, strikeout, and single to left.
And Smith swings right through it, and Brett Miller gets a much-needed strikeout. He makes it 2 outs in the inning. Bases still loaded here for the cleanup hitter, Jonathan Yoder.
Yoder also 1 for 2 today with a single to right, a walk and a strikeout. He scored a run.
Yoder swings the first pitch he sees, strike 1.
Brett Miller seems to have found his rhythm. Definitely needed to at this time, trailing 5-2 in the 5th.
That strikeout was big for the confidence. Now he's going to go right after Yoder and starts him off 0-2. Another big pitch here for Brett Miller. Work himself out of this inning with a pair of strikeouts. Here's the 0-2. In there, strike 3, called. And Yoder is struck out, and Brett Miller able to work around the bases loaded with just 1 out. Picks up 2 Ks and puts Homestead back in the dugout. We'll be back here for 6th inning action on SummitCitySports.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the Pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Ryan looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hit scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne Hockey.
Plong with the dink.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Summit City Sports.
We welcome you back here to Huntington University as you get a nice shot of the scoreboard out there that has just recently been turned on, as we thought pregame wasn't going to be able to work. Had some difficulties with it on the doubleheader just a couple nights ago, but midway through the last inning, able to fire it up, and there you've got your score. 5-2 in favor of the Archers, as it's 2-3-4 coming up for the Spartans. Big spot here, Kolping, Bear, and Schwartz.
Huge inning here for the Spartans with the meat of the order coming up. They need to get some numbers on the scoreboard right here.
As first pitch from Barrera goes ball 1.
Kolping's a good guy to start it off with. He's hitting .390 on the year. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a single and a ground out.
As Barrera comes home, pitches in a strike, 1-1. Barrera has not wavered at all through this one. Looked really solid, minus that third frame. Gave him some trouble with an error.
And he mixes his pitches well. He'll throw you a curveball in a fastball situation and vice versa. So he's not really that predictable up there. He's not overpowering. He's got a good fastball, good breaking ball. He's just a pitcher.
See that nice contact out in the center. Drifting back is Rogers, and he's able to come under it. As another contact out there for Barrera, and he's through 1 out in this one. That ball really took off the bat and then just kind of sat right out on top of Rogers, and he's able to come up with it. And first pitch that Bear sees, puts it out into left field and just out of the reach of Stutz. Bear will head into second base with a stand-up double. And the Spartans have finally a little life here.
Let's see if that affects the pitcher Barrera at all. That ball looked like it could have possibly been caught. He just kind of faded a little bit away from the left fielder, and he kind of went into a slide and was unable to get to it.
Courtesy runner Camden Rogers now in at second for the catcher Bear, and Schwartz is in.
Bear just needs to settle down here. That run is only 1. He needs to get outs. That's what he's looking for. That runner's not that important. Would make it 5-3. Don't want to just give it away, but at the same time, you're looking for outs here.
Perez looking to go after the batter, keep an eye on the runner, but keep things under what he can control, as that's fouled off now 0-2 early here on Schwartz.
See Southside, the shortstop and second baseman aren't even really messing with that runner. They're holding their positions, playing their positions, knowing that an out here is more important than that base runner.
So far in this game. 0-2 count, shadows no longer factor.
As Schwartz gets popped right back out to Stutz, and the shortstop Cole Hapner able to range out a little bit of outfield experience for him, probably helping him out there as he had to range way back, almost towards left fielder J.J. Stutz.
Hapner covered a lot of ground, and if he'd been dancing around trying to keep the runner close to second, that ball's going to drop. So, again, Southside understanding that outs right now are more important than that runner at second.
Barrera deals low, ball 1. So, Rogers is the runner on second. With 2 outs now, Barrera just has to go at the plate. Pops it in for a called strike, 1-1.
Barrera came into this inning having thrown 57 pitches in 5 innings. He only threw 8 in the 4th and 8 in the 5th, so he's got a lot of life left in that arm to be able to finish this game.
Yeah, that's some weak contact. Just fouled back to catcher Smith as he came up and fielded that one.
Both teams up on the fence. Looks like Southside dug out with a little more life than Homestead. Homestead, a few heads just kind of gazing, looking out there and hanging a little bit. Southside, a lot of smiles and a lot of heads into the ball game over there.
Both these teams came into this game playing some of their best baseball. Homestead 6-game win streak and Southside on a 4-game win streak. So
what a take by McDonald. That pitch was close.
Pushes the count 2-2.
I think the umpire got it right there, but that was awfully tough to take with 2 strikes.
And Barrera deals, chopped right over his head. Tough play for Hapner, able to get to first. And he's out at first. Awfully close down at first base. But the Archers are through 6. As they'll head back for the bottom of the inning. What could be their last at-bats. And we'll take a quick break before we join them on SummitCitySports.com.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And look at his cross. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipscher. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
We welcome you back here on SummitCitySports.com. Balin Height, Jim Kressel. And coming into this one, you might not even expect the Archers to be here, let alone have the lead 5-2. But they've proven they've been the better team in a lot of these games this weekend. And they're showing it tonight. Libre has been outstanding. Yeah, almost untouchable. A couple errors here and there have hurt him a little bit. Scored those 2 runs earlier in the 3rd frame, but outside of that, has looked great. Spartans have had some command issues on the mound, forced home a couple runs for the Archers, and that's where we stand with a 5-2 lead as Brett Miller deals first pitch. Just up and out, 1-0.
Hapner, 3 plate appearances, but only 0 for 1 officially. He's got a strikeout, a sac bunt, and was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded last inning.
He swings through right that one. 1-1. Hapner's made some great plays out in the field as well. Shortstop, just the inning to go, had to range real back into the outfield to record an out. And he swings through that one again, 1-2. If you're Homestead, you're looking for a quick inning here and get right back out there. Homestead, the away team on the scoreboard, so potentially last at-bat coming up as Hapner just gets some short contact, just kind of poked that one out there over the head of the second baseman in Hedges and find himself with a leadoff single, and he's on first. DH Sanchez now will step in as the Archers with a chance to extend the lead, give a little bit more insurance for Barrera. As that one's down and shoots into the outfield. And close play at home, but just out of the reach of the third baseman. And that's Hapner, who had the stolen base and then advanced on the throwing error. Finds himself at third base and nobody out. So for Jacob Sanchez, the goal is just to get the field in play. Now head coach Biles out of the Homestead dugout.
I think they're going to talk here to see if the batter interfered with the catcher on the throw. He came clear across the home plate. It looked like the umpire had signaled him out, but I think he was calling the pitch a strike. So they're talking right now about interference.
Sanchez went all the way around on the swing. And let's see what we're going to get here. I think they're going to call it just, I think they were signaling for the strike.
I think it's going to be 0-1, and Hapner's going to stay at third base. That situation here, if they call interference on the batter, Hapner is out. So that's a big call.
As that one's out. 1-1. Yeah, potentially a situation where you've got a runner on, nobody out, to no one on, one out, regardless if Hapner's at first, second, or third. And contact into the outfield. Hapner will come home on the tag. Throw. It's going to be close to the plate. And just around the tag of Bear. And the Archers tack on another insurance run. Now extend the lead to 4. So the RBI sacrifice fly for Jacob Sanchez makes it 6-2.
You know what, Sanchez has been involved with a lot today. He hit that ball that was the 2-out error that scored 2 runs back in the 3rd. He had a bases-loaded walk that scored a run in the 4th, and now a sac fly here in the 6th. Sanchez been involved heavily in the Southside attack today.
And another hit batter. That's Goodwell. He'll head down to first. So the 4th hit batsman by Brett Miller. I mean, just his short relief.
I think in Little League they'd have to take him out. But this is high school baseball, and that only decision is going to be made by their coach, not by how many guys you hit.
So after a short appearance from Goodwell, it's Xavier Rogers. And that one almost hit Rogers. This is the part of the order that's really started things for the Archers in this game. Taking some big-time walks, a couple of hits. As a check over at Goodwell on first.
Rogers been on 3 times today and scored a run from the 8th position. So. A lot of damage being done. The runs have been scored by the top of the order, but it's the bottom of the order that's put them in position to score.
As in for a strike.
I'm sure after that ball up and in, that curveball was a little frightening. You can see the knees buckle a little bit, bail out towards the third base dugout.
Definitely in the back of mind of Rogers as here comes the pitch. Swings right through it. Sends the count 1-2. There's a check on Goodwell at first. Back in. Winner of this will head to Lafayette, where they will face the winner of sectional. We just broadcasted at noon, where the Carroll Chargers won that one, and an outside corner pitch rings up Rogers for the second out of the inning. That game will be somewhere in the reach of 1 o'clock.
First game goes at 11, and then they'll go a half hour after that, so we'll be at the mercy of Zionsville and whoever they're playing.
9-hitter Perez in, as that one's low and skips back. Goodwell probably could have reached to second base on that one, but wasn't quite keyed in on the ball, and the Spartans get a break. As Brett Miller throws it in for a strike, 1-1. Just gets it in, 1-2, called strike on Perez. You'd like to get Perez out here if you're Brett Miller before you roll over to the top of the Southside lineup.
1-2 count, 2 outs here, bottom 6th inning. Here it comes.
And that one's a called strike 3. Rings up Perez, and Brett Miller gets the Spartans out of the inning, but not before the Archers add another run. The lead now stands at 6-2. We'll come back for what could be the final half inning of this one right here at Huntington University.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the Pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hit, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne hockey.
Plong with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
We welcome you back here as you take a look at the official scoreboard. 6-2, the Archers lead it in what could be the final half inning of this one. 5 hits, 2 errors for the Archers. To the Homestead Spartans, 3 hits, 1 error. Libre has been dynamite, on the mound. Has not ran into trouble, and when he has been able to work his way around it, a couple scattered hits here and there. And just the error earlier in the third inning hurt him with those 2 runs, but he's locked in here, and the Archers are starting to feel it after pulling off the upset on a highly ranked Huntington North squad just a day ago. Now have the opportunity to clinch sectional championship. As the 1-0 is down 2-0. Mathiasen, Raymer, and Miller bearing any pinch hitter opportunities sent in from head coach Bile, as that one's in for a called strike. 2-1 on Mathiasen. And that one drops low. Home plate umpire says Mathiasen went through. And head coach Bile down at third base, upset with the home plate umpire. Upset, I think he didn't go down to the third base umpire and ask for his judgment, as Barrera sends it through, fouled off behind, pushes it to 2-2. Never want to count the outs in baseball, but Archer's very close. As that one's in for a called strike 3. 1 out down in the inning, and Barrera has looked great so far. Jack Raymer now up. And that one's up and out. 1-0.
Southside dugout can feel it right now.
As that one's out 2-0.
At this point, the Spartans need to be able to just turn over this line of car 2 now words.
And solid contact might get over the head of the left fielder, Stutz. It does. It'll drop in for a hit. And Raymer will find himself with a stand-up double on second base, and a little life for the Spartans here with 1 out in the top of the 7th. You saw that ball just drop over the head of Stutz. Barrera kind of threw his hands up, thought that might have been playable.
Second ball out there that's gone for a double that probably should have been caught, but it wasn't. They go in the books as a double, and Homestead is still alive with 2 more outs. A pinch hitter here, it looks like, for Homestead.
Nice thing about Raymer being on second base, you push out the potential of a double play to end the inning. But you need base runners if you're the Spartans. Down 4 runs. That's Conrad Kazai stepping in for the pitch hit for Miller. And first pitch strike. That's exactly what Barrera needed to respond with after probably what would have been a catchable ball. Comes in with a first pitch strike. And in just a little high, 1-1.
Pinch hitter Conrad Kazai for the Spartans.
And that's swung right through by Kazai, pushes it to 1-2. Let's see how Barrera goes after Kazai here, ahead in the count. The Archer's not worrying about the runner on second at all. And pitches outside and low, 2-2. Spartans only have 1 less hit than the Archers, but it's those walks and the hits batsmen that have come back to hurt them. Some contact on the ground right in front of the plate, fouled, 2-2.
KSI has 2 doubles so far in this season. Slugging percentage sitting at 357.
Name of the game for the Spartans right now, base runners, as that one's in there for a called strike. And now the Archers just 1 out away from capturing a sectional title.
Not many people saw this one coming, Bailey. Not to say that Southside couldn't win baseball games, but you had Huntington North and Homestead in their way. They took care of the first, they're an out away from taking care of the second.
Low ball one on the first offer from Barrera. Definitely the story of the weekend so far have the Archers been. And I can imagine that would continue over in the regional weekend if they can pull this off. Ball hit, second baseman Goodwill just gets through him, and the Spartans will have a run. Oh, they'll hold him at third. Looks like could have been the potential as head coach Bio thought about it. But instead, base runner's more important than outs here, especially with the two. You don't want to play at the plate to end the game. So instead, runners at the corners, and I think we'll get a pinch runner as head coach Van Pelt's going to head to the mound and talk to Barrera. We've got runners at the corners. It's going to be Malik Wargis now in there, the one spot, as Spartans need another base runner here, score another run. Can't afford an out here. That would end the game. Still down to 4 runs. Runners at the corners. First pitch in for a called strike. Every time Barrera's ran into trouble, he's been able to respond with a first pitch strike. And there's another swing and miss. Wargis just looked lost on that one as he swung right through it. Spartans now down to their final strike. Barrera brings it, and it's just fouled off. Keeps the count 0-2.
Barrera has pitched a gem. 2 runs allowed, neither one of them earned 4 hits. Through 6 and 2/3 innings, was looking to get a complete game. He's at the mound, Working is at the plate. Runners on the corners with an 0-2 count. Here comes outside the ball.
Low and away, ball 1, 1-2. It's a big spot for the Archers. You do not want to give Homestead any chance as Barrera deals it low, 2-2, just behind Smith. And the runner at first will advance in Igus. So 2s across the board, two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at second and third. RBI opportunity now for Wargis. As Barrera delivers. Down and out. Full count now. Tying run in the on-deck circle for the Spartans. Barrera brings it to the plate and chopped right now. As Wargis has really dragged on the at-bat and kept things alive here for the Spartans. Full count. Barrera's got to bring his best pitch here. Barrera steps and deals, comes to the plate, and just low. So tie-in run at the plate in Colping, making things interesting for sure here in the top of the 7th. As it would need to go over the fence to tie things up here.
Yeah, but on deck you got Isaac Perez, who has 7 home runs this year.
You really like to get him up with an opportunity to take the lead.
2 outs here in the top 7th inning. Here comes the first pitch.
And it's hit into center field. Going to drop right in front of the center fielder. Have to get it in. 1 run's going to score. They're going to hold everybody where they're at. And Smith able to dive in the front of that one, but everybody moves up a base, and the run scores. It's now 6-3 with a chance for, as you talked about, 7 home runs. Isaac Bear, the possibility to be the go-ahead run if he can put it out over the fence, or just put it somewhere in the outfield. A double probably scores everybody. Runners going as we get a time, and head coach Powell's going to talk about the home plate umpire.
A tying run on first base. They're looking for the fastest man on the bench, and I guess that's Camden Rogers, a sophomore that they're bringing in to run.
Smith's going to go visit Barrera on the mound. They're going to talk things over. And things have certainly gotten interesting after starting out 2 outs. Spartans are fighting for their lives. First pitch is up and away. You definitely don't want to walk home a runner either if you're Barrera. It just really brings up the energy in this one as he sends it up and out again. Bears going to look for something here, 2-0. Barrera with some discomfort out on the mound.
2 outs, 1 on. Homestead had a hit, walk, and a hit. Put him into this situation.
Barrera deals. Close. Home plate umpire doesn't waver, and it's 3-0. You definitely don't want to walk home a run, but you give Bear something to hit here. He'll drive it. Here comes the pitch, and it's up and out. Walks him home, and the Spartans just down 2 now with the bases still loaded. All the Archers need is one out.
It also moves the tying run to second base. Number 4 hitter, the designated hitter, Swartz. He's 0 for 3 today. Flew out to center, lined out to short, and popped out to short. So he's been on the ball. He's hit the ball up the middle to the left side, pulled it every time he's been up today. I hate to say, put any sort of hex on the kid, but I think he's due.
It's Daniel Schwartz. Spartans sure think so as the first pitch comes across for a strike. Starting to feel the jitters in the box and throughout the stadium now as Barrera deals out 1-1.
Barrera's gone a lot to the off-speed pitches here. Kind of abandoned the fastball.
Doesn't want to get hurt by anything. Here comes the delivery. And slapped out to the right field. I think it's not going to be playable.
And once again, Homestead is down to their final strike.
It's Daniel Schwartz at the plate. Libre on the mound. As the excitement in the stands starts to pick up.
Life has seen the switch from the third base dugout of Southside to the first base dugout of Homestead.
Barrera delivers it. And popped up into left field. It's been some trouble out in left field, and that one's going to be trouble too, I think, as it's Hapner who retires the final out and cheers excitedly as he runs home, throws the ball up in the air, and the Southside Archers have won the sectional, defeating Huntington North and now defeating the Spartans tonight after a little trouble in that 7th inning. They are
Hapner playing shortstop, a natural outfielder. Track that ball like an outfielder. I don't know many shortstops that are going to go that deep into left center field and make that play.
He made a couple of those routinely tonight, and that seals the deal for the Archers. They win the sectional, beating the 2 favorites in consecutive games, and this one's a final as the Southside Archers win it 6-4. Big win for the Archers. They will face the Carroll Chargers Saturday around a 1-ish start, as that one will be played after Zionsville and whoever to be determined, as that game is currently going. What a great season by the Spartans. We saw them a couple times here on SummitCitySports.com. It was just those walks, a couple hit batters, and then just all you needed was 1 or 2 hits for the Archers to send some runs home. Had a chance there.
Homestead got a little tight. They didn't pick it up at the end. We got a little numbers here to go through. Lee Barrera with the complete game win for the Archers. He had 7 innings pitched, gave up 4 runs, only 2 earned. 5 hits, 5 Ks, and 2 walks, and he earns the sectional championship victory. Justin Miller takes a loss for Homestead. 3 2/3 innings, 5 runs, only 3 earned, 3 hits. The problem was 7 bases on balls. He did have 6 strikeouts. And Brett Miller came in to relieve him. Zach Brett Miller, 3 1/3 innings pitched, gave up 1 run, 2 hits. His problem was hit batsmen. He hit 4, and he struck out 5. So, line score, Southside with the win, 6 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. And Homestead, 4 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. Southside moves on to face Carroll next week in Game 2 of the Lafayette Regional.
Spartans finished the season 17-8, excuse me. And the Archers move to 14-13. As you see there at home plate, they are getting presented with the sectional trophy. The story of the weekend has some tears from the Southside coaching staff just off the left of the pile, as we will wrap things up here. The final from Huntington University, Southside Archers 6, the Homestead Spartans 4. Jim, thanks for joining me. I know it was kind of a last-second thing. Saw you today and decided to hop on, but we're glad you were here.
Love it. High school baseball in Indiana. If you don't get an opportunity, or if you get an opportunity, get out and watch this next week. Southside and Carroll, a couple Fort Wayne teams heading over to Lafayette. It's a 2-hour drive, nice trip down the Hoosier Heartland Highway, and you will see one of those two teams play 2 ball games next week, because one of them will be playing for a regional title.
That'll do it for us from Summit City Sports. Balin Height, been with you from Carroll, and now from Huntington University. We'll close things out here as we go to break. Have a fantastic finish to your Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you back here next Saturday from Lafayette.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the Pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hit, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne Hockey.
Plung with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Knipscher. Shot scores!
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the Pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hit, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne Hockey.
Plung with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country.